Hi, I'm Susan Pinsky. This is Calling Out with Susan Pinsky, and today I'm alone. I'm going to be taking your calls and answering your questions, and I'm not psychic or anything, but I thought maybe we'd just talk. No, I do have two amazing psychic mediums here today. We're going to talk about ghost stories and their experiences with ghosts and spirits and the forensic work that they have done. Also maybe some history, things that they've found interesting over the years. And I am joined today by Rebecca Fearing. Again, she'll be zooming in. She's a medium and a healer from Southern California, considered one of the most talented and naturally gifted practicing clairvoyants in the country. She's been on The Housewives. She's been on Below Deck. She's worked with a lot of professionals. She's worked with international giants, and she is pretty amazing. Jennifer Schaefer is my second psychic medium tonight. She's going to wow us with her abilities. She's been on Dr. Phil and BuzzFeed and Oxygen and Below Deck, of course, and she donates her time to law enforcement and families of victims by assisting with criminal cases and helping find answers. She's the co-founder, VP, and law enforcement case expert for Impartial Witness, a strategic artificial intelligence software platform designing partnerships between law enforcement and the intuitive network. So basically, she works with the police as an intuitive, as does Rebecca Fearing, as a matter of fact. She's found many people. Jennifer also founded the JS Intuitive Investigations Academy and teaches an intuitive investigative development course for various skill levels. And you can find her at jenniferschaefer.com and then Rebecca at rebeccafearing.com. So anyways, these are all the plugs. These are the people. This is their history. And we all have a history together. Hello, girls.
Hi.
Hi.
So nice to see you guys. And we're going to be taking calls. So if anybody wants to call in, the number is 636-334-3999. As you can see on the screen over here, we will be talking about ghosts. If you had a ghost in your house, or you feel like you feel like you're crazy, or if you've had experiences where you hear voices, you get hugs in bed, I don't know, stuff like that, just call in and we'll see if we can tap into your spirits. And then also I want to hear some stories from my girlfriends, because I haven't seen these two together in a long time. We were all fortunate enough to get to be on Below Deck thanks to Rebecca Fearing, and I think it's been the most aired Below Deck in the history of Below Deck. I'm sure it played 15 times this month, even though the outcome wasn't too great for Rebecca because the captain is a douchebag and he lied about his dead mother. But we had a fabulous time for those 2.5 days on the Below Deck decks. And unfortunately, that ship sank eventually. So karma is a bitch.
Oh, too bad.
And they wanted us back. We're like, really?
Yeah, they wanted another 50 grand is what they wanted. So, but you know what? I had a fabulous time. There was a lot of spirit readings on that ship. Cindy Kaza, who I also invited to come tonight, is filming in Arizona tonight, but she wants to come back and tell her ghost stories. And I want my fans and anybody else who's out there to call me if you have any mediumship qualities, or if you think you've seen ghost or hear ghost or you know ghost, if you have a friendly ghost. I mean, we all have a friendly ghost. I had one living in my pool house for a while, but I think Rebecca finally got him out. So girls, I just want to touch base on what you've been up to and how you guys have been connected and in the past, and how you deal with a ghost when you see one. Rebecca?
Well,
Yeah.
actually, I had a very interesting incident last night that actually scared me so bad. I came back from going out to dinner, and I sometimes sit in the car because it's quiet, the dogs don't bark. And it was about 11 o'clock at night, but the house is so close to where the car is parked. So I just said, Sherman, go in, and I'll call you to come out when I want to come out. And I'm just sitting there, and all of a sudden this man, seriously, out of nowhere, appears in the middle of the street. He looks kind of confused, like he doesn't know where he is. So he looks to my right, and then he kind of looks straight, and I'm like, and I thought he was going to come in the car, and I couldn't remember if I locked the car, didn't lock the car. So I turned for a minute to call Sherman, and he was gone. Not up the street, not down the street. Sherman came out. He was just gone. But I have a feeling I know who it is, and I think it's somebody that I know that is in some kind of, I think the guy's alive, but I think he's in some kind of either danger or, I don't know. I'm kind of concerned, so I did call and make sure he was okay. And then I did hear that he wasn't feeling good yesterday. So I said, make sure he goes to the doctor and takes care of himself. Because first I was like, he had a white T-shirt on, bald guy, like, I don't know, around my age or so. And like, he looks slightly familiar. But this guy was in Florida. So there's no way he could be standing on the side of my house. But you know how people can project themselves sometimes?
Really?
And
Wow.
yes, they can do that. And I said
Well,
to
to
myself,
you,
oh my God.
like to the
Yeah.
common average person like me, they can't project themselves. Like, you have to explain, Rebecca, how your brain works. Like, when a ghost is projected
It's funny.
into your space, like you go, oh my God, I just saw. We were getting in the car the other day, and she goes, somebody just walked by, and I'm like, yeah, I can't, I can't see ghosts.
I
Okay,
just can't
so
see him. Well,
but how
how they
your
appear
brain
to
picks
me,
up on these images? It's your clairvoyance.
well, yeah, I'm clairvoyant and I'm clairaudient and I'm a medium. So when you're a medium like Jennifer, we're able to see between dimensions, multi-dimensions. I had a physicist say that I was more maybe 5-dimensional than a 3-dimensional person because I could see in between the layers of these different worlds that we live in. And sometimes the paths cross. Now, people don't look like a ghost like Casper the Ghost to me. They look like real, living, live people. And I have this one story I'll share with you. I was in my old office there in Granada Hills, and I heard a knock on the door. I opened the door. This gal had a pink shirt on, a little white tank underneath. I saw all her jewelry, and I said, "Oh, I'm not." I thought, God, maybe I overbooked somebody. And I said, "Oh, I'm not quite ready yet. I'll be out there in a couple of minutes." She goes, "Oh, okay." And I shut the door. And so then I waited a couple of minutes. I got done what I was doing, opened the door, and there's a guy standing there in a blue shirt, young guy. And I said, wait, where's the lady in the pink jacket? And he goes, no, you said that to me. I go, no, where's the lady in the pink jacket with the jewelry on and blah, 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 blonde. And I described her. And he goes, that's my mother-in-law, Rebecca, and she died. And you knew her. And I'm like, I was so shocked. But I'll tell you why she came, because her daughter was going to be expecting her first baby with this guy. And she
Oh,
wanted to make sure that he knew that she
that
was
she was
very
there.
involved.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I believe it. I never saw him again. I
So it's like one
scared
of
the
those
living
ghost movies where all of
daylights.
a sudden you're like, you morph into the ghost, they like suck
Yeah.
your soul inside of
He
you.
morphed into her.
Yeah.
Yeah. He actually morphed into his mother-in-law
Oh
because
my God.
she was, but I still talk to the family and we still talk about how their mother, these girls' mother appeared to me and was so invested in their lives that she was able
That's
to do
interesting.
that. Hmm.
So Jennifer, is that the way your brain works
So
too?
my brain works similar, but the best way I think I can explain it is, you know how you're in the shower and all of a sudden somebody pops into your head? That's kind of what happens. And then you'll look at your phone and you'll see a text message or whatever. Well, Rebecca and I, if we're talking to somebody, there's people popping up all over. And some of them are living, some of them are not living. They're
I mean,
gone.
we all
We
have
have
a
to
little of
figure out
that,
if they're
right?
dead or we have to figure out if they're dead or not. And it's usually people that are definitely in their energy, you know, they're in their energy field. So a lot of times I'm like, what's going on with your mom? Because it's either, even if they're not thinking about it, there's something going on with the mom. She's popping in. She's projecting herself. She's probably thinking about the person that's in front of me as well. Right, Rebecca? Do you think that's a...
Yes, that happens very often, that sometimes you'll get a living person that wants to communicate with the person from the other side that's standing in front of you. So I'll say, you know, so-and-so is wanting to talk to you or communicate with you, but that person is very much alive. When I work on
Yes.
crime, I do audio too, though, because I do it with a telephone. And in fact, we're working on a case right now out of Delphi, Jennifer, I wanted to ask you about. It's been going on for a couple of years, and then we just got some hits on somebody, because it's a very scary and interesting. 2 teenage girls got killed in Indiana. So we need some help on this one because it needs to be solved, and we're almost on the precipice of getting
Does
this
it have to
person,
do
we
with
think.
lots? Does it have to do with lots of money as well?
Well, we're
Is there
wondering
any
if that was part of a issue with this, or somebody who has money that you would never, ever think would do something like this. Yeah. But those girls have appeared to me. I have them on the telephone. One of the mothers has talked to me and her. So what happened, I'm talking to one of the moms, right? And all of a sudden, the daughter, because there's 2 teenage girls, she says she's with Jerry. And her mother almost has a, you know, I mean, like almost faints, because Jerry is the mother's father who just passed. And so Jerry hopped in during the reading, and we're trying to get him to give us clues.
So basically,
So,
that's how, when that happens, you know that the person is dead, is certifiably dead. Like you, sometimes you don't want to give the information too soon when they're searching for people, because I've seen what you guys do. But when they say, yeah, I'm with her, it usually tells you that victim.
Oh, they're definitely passed. Yes.
When it's a missing person or something like that. So
yeah, missing people. I just found another one, but he was alive, thank God. And I thought he was alive. So
oh, good.
That was good.
That's so crazy. We did a podcast a couple of years ago with you and Khalees and Sloan, and we looked for Molly Tibbetts, and they found her the next day, which was kind of
Jennifer,
amazing.
weren't you on that too?
Yeah, and Jennifer, and you too, we're on it as well. And it's
Yeah.
really interesting to see how you were able to, we took a map and we put it up on the screen. This was before we had this fancy place, and it was kind of a lackluster show, but it was a good show. We got a lot of ratings on that one. But we were able to pinpoint the area that the body was, and that when they found it, we were right on spot, which I found to be amazing. Also, they did find her the next day. I don't know if we were helpful with the search and rescue area, but there were so many things that you guys called out, and you knew exactly where they were. So I was really, really amazed with that. I love that kind of forensic work, and the thought that, you know, you're taking for legitimate reasons. You go out and make a living. It's not just telling people their fortunes or talking to their dogs or whatever. It's very important work, and I know, like, people like Mark Garagos love you guys. You know, he you know, is a defense attorney, and he uses psychics all the time. So it's, you know, and also the police forces, you know, use them. So it's in the last 10 years since I've been doing this, I've noticed that there's a huge difference in how we look at psychic mediums, and we use them as, you know, you guys know what you do for a living, and you're proud of it. A lot of people think it's wacko, but it's not. You know, some of it is goes to good use. It helps people with connection to their loved ones when they pass and gives them comfort. It, you know, helps people realize they might have a baby and gives them hope, you know, but it also helps find people when they're at their wit's end and they can't figure out where they are. So that's what I love about you guys. But let's get to some ghost stories, something juicy, something that we can.
Well, Jennifer, go first. I have a bunch of them, but you go first. I'm going to hear yours.
Well, I'll tell you a really funny one it was actually super fun. I was at Chateau Marmont having lunch with my girlfriend. I hadn't been there in a while. This was last year. And as we were sitting down, all of a sudden I get tapped on my shoulder. Nobody was there, and I jumped. And I'm like, oh my God, it's John Belushi. And I did not know at the time that John Belushi died there. But, and I'm like, well, why would he be bothering me, kind of thing? I'm like, that's interesting. You know, I kind of brushed it off. And then within just probably 5 minutes later, somebody comes up to me and puts his hand. He goes, hello, my name is Dave. I'm like, I know who you are, Mr. Chappelle. It was the funniest thing ever. And then after that, it started, you know, it's, I ended up reading Dave and like 5 of his friends, you know, in the back of the place. We were laughing hysterically. They had to tell us to calm down. It was they couldn't believe the stuff that I told them.
Oh my God, that's so great.
I could show.
So do you think that John Belushi was sort of telling you that something good was coming?
I think he was telling me. I didn't even, it was interesting because I didn't even put it together until now that it had to do with Dave Chappelle. Maybe. The whole reason why he, you know, scared the you know, G's out of me. I mean, I've never jumped. And she's like, what is wrong with you? My girlfriend, what is wrong with you? Little visitor.
So how did now when you saw John Belushi, what did he look like to you? Did he look like a young John Belushi, like a Blues Brother?
A young John, Blues Brothers with his hat and his white shirt. Yeah. And I can't remember what he made. He made me feel a little bit woozy, and I hadn't even started drinking yet. Like his whole like demeanor, because as you know, Rebecca, you can get their feelings and you can get just, and he was just, after I started talking to him in my mind, he was super funny, super like, he loves this place. He goes, why would I leave this place? It's super fun. Kind of thing.
So let's just say he still lives at the chateau. That's cool. That place is very creepy though. I mean, that's a great,
it's very haunted.
It has a feeling of it. One time I went to the Magic Castle with Rebecca, and she was talking to Houdini. I remember were you with us?
Yeah.
That was fun. So. That was fun.
It was really fun.
Yeah. But okay, so as far as other ghost stories, like when you're doing your work, like who has affected you the most, like, or come through with messages that just kind of make you shudder? I know that dealing with the death of a young person, for example, Jennifer, you know, it really upsets you, especially if you're a mother or you know, you have kids or whatever. But
do you want me to go into a story, or do you want Rebecca? Is there anything that's fun that Rebecca could talk about, or are we going to bridge it with that?
We'll do fun after. I want to hear the good stuff.
Okay.
I want to hear the interesting, like, you know, what you stay up at night just thinking about and dealing with.
Well, one of the cases that I worked on, I got a phone call from somebody that was working with the DEA, and the FBI were involved. And so you can already imagine what kind of magnitude this case is, right? It's either human trafficking or drugs or both or a combination. And they said, okay, we have about 12 of us for a search party. And I always get called like on the, you know, well, not anymore, but it used to be like the 10th day, you know, when somebody goes missing. And this girl, she was 32 years old. I won't mention names because of whatever, but she's 32 years old. And she, you know, she had a child, she went missing, she got caught up in some things, and I didn't know anything else. And so as I was talking to law enforcement on speaker, I was telling them, you know, I see an airport, it's the 2 lanes in front of it, you know, an airport that just had like 2 tracks. And I said it was, you know, around 5 miles from a certain point, and they're like, there's 3 different airports that are right in the vicinity that I said. And they said that that's where they feel she is. And they, you know, we all, you know, we work as though the person is still alive, always, because we don't know until there's an actual body. I mean, you and Rebecca and I might know, but we don't say anything to a mom. And the mom was actually on the call. And so they started sending me aerial maps. And I just, all of a sudden, everything just went blank. I'm like, fudge, I can't figure this out. I can't, you know, like, we're going to have to wait till tomorrow. Well, that night, She came to me over and over again. I couldn't sleep that night. Finally, I went to bed like at 2 o'clock in the morning. And at 6 a.m., she told me exactly where she was. And I called them. I'm like, I know what airport it is. And so I led them through an airport because there was a shed so when I get the view from the person, I saw a white shed, which is never a good sign to begin with. But at an airport, a white shed could be a hangar, right? So is she in a hangar at an airport, or is she across the way in a white shed? And I think I might have said this before. I said to the mother the night before, I said, don't go out walking. I feel like it's deadly. Just don't go walking tonight. And she goes, okay, I'll skip my walk. Something easy, right? Well, the girl told me that because where I eventually led them across the way, across the 2 lanes from the airport, the street, they called me up freaking out. They're like, Jennifer, you're not going to believe this. I'm like, what? They're like, it's Walking Street. We are on Walking Street. You said it was deadly last night. And they got the warrants. They got in there. And
don't go out walking. I just lost
Yeah.
Are you turning it down, Caleb?
Right. That's a clue. That's how we get these clues.
Everything is.
Right.
Interesting. So your feeling was don't go out walking, and they found her on Walking Street. They found her body. Exactly.
They didn't find her body. They found her DNA.
Her DNA. Okay.
They crushed me, actually. She wasn't there.
Oh. But
yeah.
No.
I know.
Well,
it's those things where you're like, you don't know if, like, I know that, I feel that she wasn't alive the night before. Like, I know that I didn't cause, do you know what I mean? But it goes in your head, like, did I wait too long? I couldn't get the right airport. You know what I mean?
Right.
You go through this.
Oh yeah, it must stress you out. Like it takes a lot of energy to think about stuff like that all the time, every day, and then tune out and not have to think about it.
But they give you clues. They give you clues in pictures and in words and in feelings, and every single thought isn't wasted. There's never a thought that's wasted. It usually has multiple meanings, especially when dealing with cases.
Oh wow!
Right, Rebecca?
Right. I'll tell you one that was just, it wasn't funny at the time. It was scary, but somebody called me in about this guy, Michael, that got hit by a car on Ventura Boulevard. He went over to the hot dog. It's the train that has hot dogs. So he went to grab a hot dog. Ventura Boulevard, you cannot cross without going to a crosswalk. It's very dangerous, and people go really fast. So he gets hit by this car. I think it was a black SUV. They never found the people, but they have a camera about seeing a black SUV. So I go on the job. I go to the location a couple times. Sherman comes with me. It's right across the street from Terry's Deli, Ventura Boulevard. And we get messages from this guy, good-looking guy. So, but we can't really, I couldn't say who was driving the car. So I'm at home, and I'm sleeping, and I hear this guy go, should I touch her? I'm like, me? Oh no, okay. And I wake up screaming my head off because when I look up, there's a guy there, white shirt, freshly pressed, buttoned down, looks like he just had a fresh, nice haircut. And then I'm like, there's a guy in here. I started screaming. I tell Sherman, there's a guy in here. I started screaming bloody murder. Sherman says, where? And he goes running in the wrong direction, okay?
His underwear.
So he's running one way. I'm screaming, and all of a sudden the guy flew out the window, and the blinds just hit hard. Boom, boom, boom. And so he just flew right out the window. And then I called his friends. I said,
through the window, not an open window, like through a window.
Oh, he flew through the window.
Wait, this is a live person?
No, he was dead, but he looked just like he was alive.
But
yeah,
wait,
I thought he was an intruder.
So he moved the shutters when he went through the window?
Yeah, he flew. He looked like I could touch him.
Oh
if I didn't, because I didn't recognize him.
So does that mean that they're still in this life, like in their, they haven't passed over yet? Okay, no. So okay. That makes sense. Okay.
But then listen
that's
to
like
this.
Considered a ghost, right? Because you're not a spirit yet. Then they,
he was a ghost.
They're in the, what do you call it?
In between.
They have a word for it.
He was stuck for a minute.
What do they call it
And
when they're in limbo or whatever?
yeah, he was still earthbound, but as a spirit. But when I called his friend, so I said to her, Michael just appeared to me last night. I'm pretty sure now that it was him. I said, did you bury him in a white, crisp white shirt button down? And before he got hit by that car, getting his hot dog or whatever, I said, did he have just gotten a haircut that day? And she says, absolutely, Rebecca. He had been
Oh,
buried in that
I
shirt.
like that. Should I touch her? Like, how do I wake her up?
Yeah, he's like, should I
Oh
touch
my.
her? I'm like,
Mm.
no!
Okay, so I have somebody on the line. Tracy, she wants to know, she had an incident she had a few years ago when she had some ghost visitor. Hi, Tracy.
Yes, hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you ladies?
We're hanging in
Good.
there. For old ladies, we're doing okay.
Same here.
Speak for yourself, Susan.
Young spirits, though. Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
So, okay, tell us your story.
Okay, so yeah, a few years ago, it was in the middle of the night, and I woke up and I saw what looked like a man standing over me, and I screamed and I kicked at him because I thought there was someone in my room. And then my husband woke up and he started yelling, and then we jumped up and started running around the house looking for an intruder. And then we realized our security alarm was still set, and there was nobody in our house, and nothing had been opened. And we kind of just looked at each other with huge eyes, and he asked me what I saw. And I said, well, I saw a man standing over me in our room. What did you see? He said, well, I saw two of them walking out our door. And
Wow.
so we turned on all the lights and tried to sleep at night. And I'm curious to know who they were. And then afterwards, I felt kind of bad for scaring them away because it seemed peaceful. It didn't seem like there was anyone threatening. But that was also the first time that I had seen something that someone else also saw the same thing.
Who wants to tap into that? Can either one of you do that?
Was this a new space that you were in? Did you just move there, like within a year or so? Or have you lived there for a long time?
No, we'd probably been living here for about 7 or so years.
So it was recently.
This happened, it happened a few years ago, and we had been in the house probably for already about 7 or so years, I think.
Okay. I don't, because I felt like it came from people that used to live there. And so I was wondering if it was soon. Yeah.
Well, I see the name John, which is a common name. And I think these two came to wake you up, to get you up, because a lot of times when they do this, it's to get you to pay attention what may be outside of your house to show that you turned the lights on and you made activity. So I don't think it was to scare you. It could have been a prior owner. Do you have fruit trees on that property at all?
No.
Okay, because this guy is a landowner, owned a lot of land before. So I don't know what that property used to be, if it was like, you know how some beaches where people in, what state are you in?
California.
California. A lot of times they were groves or orange groves or whatever. And I think Jennifer's right on what they could have been prior owners of the land. I don't think it's relatives.
Wow.
And I think it was to wake you up. I'm getting it, to get you to turn the lights on and scare anybody who was outside of your house. That's my take.
Oh, well, that's really interesting.
Do you know about anybody named John in spirit?
I can't think of anyone offhand.
Okay. I mean, it's.
I have known Johns in the past, but I've lost track of them, so I don't know if they're on the other side or not.
Right.
No, I don't think so. I think Jennifer's on with its prior people that own the land.
Yeah, and it's not connected to you somehow. Like it's not somebody in your spirit world. If you
Let
don't
me
know.
let me ask. Go ahead. I was just going to ask a question. Did it make you start reading more books or looking into shows that have ghosts?
Well, I've kind of always done that.
Awesome.
So
Do you like the
we always
Travel
have
Channel?
been fascinated by those sorts of
Oh
things.
my God, I love the Travel Channel.
Okay.
I have to catch up on the Ghost Brothers. Have you seen that yet? I love that one.
Oh,
Oh,
I don't know.
I
We
just
love
saw
watching those
something
types
like
of
that.
shows, though, and my husband and I have both had strange things happen before, so we've always been fascinated by that sort of thing.
Well, I was gonna try to get Cindy Kazanite. She works on the Holzer file. She's doing it right now. That's why she couldn't come in. She has some great ghost stories because she works on that show. It's on the Travel Channel. I'll just give her a quick plug because she wants to come on soon and talk about it. But it sounds like it was somebody in the past, and it also was somebody you don't know because obviously you don't know a John in spirits. So that it probably kind of
Yeah.
makes that sense.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
and the fact that you're able to see spirits shows that you have some psychic ability or mediumship ability, right, girls?
Yep.
What would you say that? So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Follow it.
I mean,
Well, let me
Well,
tell
I
you.
sure wish I could put it to good use.
and you know what? Like you said, it didn't necessarily have to be evil, but since it was in over your bed while you were sleeping, you couldn't tell if it was real or not. It scares the shit out of you, and you have to
Yeah.
jump up, and your husband gets involved, and everybody's screaming. But sometimes they're just
It
trying.
took a while before we realized it wasn't an actual person. It
So-
was that real.
That is
funny.
crazy. So, just a little sage and around the house, and you can probably keep them out.
Well, let me tell you something really
Oh, yeah.
quickly.
I
Can
mean,
I say
a
something?
friend of mine that's Native American, we had her come over and smudge the house like the next day.
That's
We haven't
perfect.
seen anybody since.
Oh, that's good. Well, maybe they helped you and you didn't get robbed,
Right.
Right,
Yeah.
maybe,
No, I-
yeah.
Yeah.
That's good to know. Maybe someone was looking out for us.
Rebecca, any
Well, I'll
last
just tell you
words?
really quickly. Yeah, I heard a woman down my hall say, "Get up, there's a man in the window." And it was a woman with an Israeli accent. She was not living. She was a ghost, I guess. But when I went out there in the big picture window, there was a guy in the window outside alive, and he had the nerve to ask if he could come in. I go, "No, get out of here before I call the cops." But you know what? She got me up, and I went to look in the window, and there he was. So that's why I said, these people got you up, turned your lights on, and may have chased away whoever was lurking around your property. That can happen. They're not
Whoa.
necessarily there to scare you. They're trying to
That's
warn you.
amazing. I had
It's like
never
a-
even thought of that.
It's like a guard ghost dog. You got to
Yeah.
keep those around. Be nice to them. You never know. They might come in handy.
Well, no, I'm sorry. I chased them off.
Yeah. There's a reason for everything. Well, thank you for calling. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, thanks so
fine.
much for your input. I really appreciate it.
There
Okay.
you go.
Bye.
Hey, I see
Okay,
ghosts.
bye-bye.
So somebody on the restream, Susan Costa Romanella on Facebook said, "My son has white orbs come to his house almost every night. He sees them on his night camera, but he can't see them visually. If he goes outside, they back off and then come to the door as he goes back in. What can that mean?" Anybody an orb expert? I think they're cool. I've taken photographs like before this kid had brain surgery. I took pictures of a kid falling right before he almost died on the football field, and we did a podcast about that, of course. But I have a big affection for orbs. I have my own instincts on what it is, but Rebecca, what do you think? Or Jennifer,
Well,
whoever wants to take
You
it.
can go to YouTube. I have a craziest YouTube under Rebecca Fearing. You'll see the craziest orb show. And from this, I had learned that they're intelligent energies. So you can talk to them. You can tell them in command where to go. So he's obviously got people around his house. I don't know who they are, but they definitely want to come in. I don't think I'd let him in. He doesn't know
He
who they
does,
are.
her son. Well,
I
and
think I think it's a vortex. I think a lot of times if
Yeah,
you have
it's
that
an
much
energy
activity, they can have a little vortex in their house.
a vortex, really? Explain
Yeah.
that. That's cool. What is that?
It's just
I feel
it's
like I've had a
place-
vortex in my house, so I
I
understand.
think that you have. I think that you have. I'm like, it's Mercury retrograde, whatever that means, and I'm
I
like,
know.
we're all going to be on. I'm surprised we're still
We're,
working.
it's Mars. It's even worse than that. So, okay, go ahead.
Yeah. No, a vortex is where there's just a lot of activity in one place, and so they come and go. And if they're, and this is the thing. It's my own belief. It's not that they leave. It's just that whatever we believe in, if we think we're scaring them off, the universe lets us believe that. Like if we don't want to believe, the universe lets us believe it. So that's why a lot of people can't really see it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Does
But
that
they're
make
on the
sense?
camera. It's like the cameras pick them up. And it's
Yeah.
like I had, okay, so I had a telephoto lens. The sun was setting. It was, the injury was going to happen. A bunch of people were going to get, this kid was going to die. Okay. But then I got a picture of this kid next to my son's and on the field, and my son was going to break his leg, and then the other one was going to get injured and have a brain injury and go to the hospital, and the whole game was going to be over instantly. But I got a photo right before that, and it was these rays of orbs coming down, and Drew's dad had just died. So I assumed that it was some kind of a message to me, something was coming. And it was later, looking back at the pictures, I said, I've never seen anything like this. These orbs they're spiritual. You can tell. And at the same time I was taking that picture, an alarm was going off in the parking lot. So it was almost like
Wow.
it was a sign that something was coming. Like Rebecca said, like somebody's waking you up and trying to tell you something. I didn't see it until afterwards, but the boy ended up being okay. He had a brain injury and he was sick for a while, but he's better now and he's fine. He got married. But we did a whole podcast on it. Very interesting phenomenon. Of course, my story sounds really wacko, but the science saved his life. Thank God for modern medicine, but it was a miracle he lived. So
Or,
maybe
yeah, maybe maybe the beans helped him not get more injured
they
or
pointed
have
right
a
at his
feeling.
head. Like you could see them
Right.
coming down, like he's on the field. There were my son's on the two
Angels.
sides,
Yeah.
and the beams
Wow.
came down on my son who hurt himself, and then my other son, and then his head. And they were all playing, they were losing the game horribly. The score was 9-1-1 when the last I looked at the board. So it was kind of
Oh,
weird. I was
God.
like, I took a picture of the board and it said 9-1-1. I thought that was funny. And then about 10 minutes later, it wasn't 9-1-1. So orbs are something. And I mean, it's not explainable, but we all have our theories,
Well,
Yeah,
you could see
intelligent energy.
you could see faces in them.
You can.
Oh,
Like if you open them up, you see faces and patterns, and you can't.
Like
You could
I said.
chalk it up to dust particles. That's where some people like to just put that there. But I have pictures from going down to the beach. I used to go down there and take pictures when the full moon was out by the water. Water is a conductor. There are so many orbs. I mean,
Right.
it was just thick full of orbs.
You don't,
Really
okay,
cool.
so when you take a picture, I want to explain this to everybody because Colby told me this. If there's a green thing that looks like an orb, then it's the light on the camera, so don't get excited.
Correct.
Okay, but if they're
Right.
white and they come down in line. Oh, and the other weird thing was this kid was at my house and I took a picture of him behind the garage, which I think is my vortex, and there were orbs all around him again when I took a picture of him. Like just clouds of orbs everywhere. And I had I'm like, oh my God, this kid has like angels or something. I don't know what it was, but that's my orb experience, and I'm sticking with it, okay? All right, so I'm going to take a call from Roxanne. Hi, Roxanne.
Hi. Hi. You guys are just talking about orbs, and I was all engaged in that conversation.
Oh, thank
I was
you.
like, oh my God. And because I'd had not orbs that, so this is totally not my question, and I know I just jumped in without even letting you guys say hi, barely. I'm sorry.
We're ready for your question.
Hi.
Okay, so, hi. Okay, first I'm going to go back to my original question. Can people, I guess like people carry ghosts with them? I don't know if that even makes sense. But I feel like there's always a spirit or a ghost around me, but my son tells me the same thing with him. Like he feels like when he stays at his dad's house, he feels like it's haunted, but he has said that since he was itty bitty, like little. Even when I lived with his dad, he would always tell me that, but I always felt that way as well.
That makes sense.
And so I don't know.
He's probably
I
intuitive
don't know
like
if
you
they
are.
can be.
I don't know. What do you think, Jennifer?
Yeah.
You want to jump in on that?
I don't know. The first thing that I got was his grandfather. Like there was a grandfather that was around. I'm not getting something that's bad necessarily, but I felt like there was a long distant relative that was around. I think
My
that
son or me?
No,
your son,
the spirit has, well, if
Oh,
it's you and
okay.
your son, it's probably the same
right?
grandparent. But now the
Oh,
thing
okay.
is, now the thing about kids, though, what I think is that they're very intuitive and they're open to it until we tell them not to be. So if
Absolutely.
they,
Right. He's 18 now. He's 18 now, but he still feels that way.
don't let
He
them,
says he can sometimes, like, when he, go ahead. Sorry.
don't let them stop. I mean, that's a intuition that, you know, is good. I mean, it's good to be able to connect with
Right.
your loved ones in the afterlife. Do you have a grandfather in spirit that he was connected to?
No, both of his first grandparents are living. You know, and he has a great grandfather that has passed. However, when he was little, his great grandfather was living.
Could be the
Yeah.
next generation.
It was the next generation. It wouldn't be. Yeah, it wasn't his grandparents. It felt like his dad's dad, your husband's dad's dad.
Oh, okay. Oh, his dad's dad. Okay, and
Yeah.
he's still living.
Just
His dad's dad is still, wow. How old is he?
He's 45. My ex is 45, and then his dad is, I don't know,
No, his
70.
his
oh, I meant
grandfather's his grandfather's
his
dad.
great grandfather.
Yes, great grandfather.
yes.
Obviously.
Okay. I was like, no, my
Sorry to
grandpa's still alive.
Well, I mean, if his dad in his dad's house, there's always a possibility that the spirit of his grandfather is hanging around sometimes.
Yeah.
So
And so, and the reason I asked that is because we've lived in a couple of different houses, since I've left, and he says he sometimes feels like somebody's watching him when he's sleeping, or sometimes he gets spooked to go to the bathroom, like at night, because he feels like there's somebody close to him. But I've always felt that way too.
how do you feel about
It's
that,
probably
Rebecca?
that you guys have a lot of psychic ability and that you're picking up on people that are coming and going. God, in my room, I just saw something really weird when I said that about. So you definitely have something going on with you guys. I
What'd you
saw a
see?
shadow go by the light just now. I wish you would have been able to see that. And I feel that both of you have high clairvoyant ability and probably medium. The ability to be a medium. You and your son probably have it in your DNA. So no matter where you go, you're going to feel somebody, whether it's your own hall by the bath, where a lot of people find ghosts are in the hall, or you go to haunted hotel or castle. So be very aware of where you're going, especially if there's known activity there, because you definitely will feel something or see somebody. So feel good about where you go if you know there's activity. What I'm picking up, you're both highly psychic, and it's not going to stop. It'll probably get better, more and more.
Yeah, I just felt like that since I was pretty young. I would sleep on the couch sometimes when I was younger, because I'd be afraid to be in my room, but I'd sleep on the couch so I could have the TV on.
Right. For many years, for many years I slept with the light on until I realized what I was doing and what I was capable of doing. So I'm not afraid of the dark anymore, but I was till an adult very afraid of the dark. And I'm picking up the name George. He's so strong around him. Yeah, who is that?
I'm sorry, can you say that name again?
George.
George. I don't know a George or Jorge, no.
Well, keep in mind that I wasn't going to say it, but then I'm like, no, I'm going to say it. A lot of times you'll find out who that might be afterward. Could be an ancestor that you never knew of. And George is kind of could be a German name. So I don't know if you have any German in your blood, but I'm going to keep it there.
Jorge.
See what happens.
Okay.
I know.
I'm thinking George, Jorge.
I'm asking Restream if anybody's on the line that's attached to George. Let me know, and I'll pull him. Sometimes we get piggyback callers, and they take.
Yeah, because I was trying to avoid saying it, but I finally gave in and said it, so it could be the case. So George, I've acknowledged you. I'm not quite sure who you belong to at the moment, but we'll find you. I belong to
That's
you.
funny. Real quick, when you were talking about orbs, and you guys were in conversation, I was thinking about this one time. I have a skylight, and I was taking a picture of a storm because there was lightning and it was thundering. But at the time when I was recording the skylight, there was no lightning. Well, there was this orb that looked like it came flashing towards my camera, where I moved my phone because I thought it was whatever it was going to hit me. And when I moved my phone, it went away. Well, then when I looked back at the video, because I was videoing the storm, you could see one orb coming towards, and then it disappeared, and then there was a small one right behind it. It was the craziest. I literally just got goosebumps talking about it.
Yeah.
Like it.
Right.
I get goosebumps every time.
Well, check out my YouTube under Rebecca Fearing. You will see the same thing. I tell the orb to come through the camera. It does. And then I start screaming again like a banshee, but you'll enjoy it if you like orbs.
Yeah.
I'll definitely take a look. I'm telling you, when you started saying that, I was like, oh my God, that's happened to me.
That's great.
That's great. Well, thank you for calling in. I'm gonna take a call from somebody that is connected to George.
Jorge. Thank you so much.
Bye. Okay, so I think this is it. She's Jeanette on Facebook, but there's a Jeannie here. And she said George was her husband, and there's somebody on. I love technology. This is fun. Maybe it's her. I don't know. It might just be Jeanette and Jeannie both have husbands in spirit, and there's a coincidence there too. Hi, Jeannie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Are you Jeanette on Facebook too?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm Jeannie. No, not.
Okay,
No.
so we're gonna quickly do a shout out to Jeanette on Facebook about George, and let's see here. She said her husband passed away, and his name was George. You have a husband who passed away, and I know we'll get to him next. Do you have any messages from George that we can shout out to Jeanette on Facebook?
Yeah, George has a really good sense of humor. He must be in here with us, and I have this hat for Halloween in my hands, and he says, Rebecca, put it on, it's funny, it'll be good. So I'm like laughing because he's joking around with me. Was your George very funny or humorous or lighthearted by any chance?
She's on Facebook. She's not on the phone, so. But just
her?
give us a little message, and then we'll move on to Jeannie.
And her loved one was George, right? This is
Yes.
the right person?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because he keeps talking about her car and that she needs to look at her tires, change them, fix them, but he's really concerned about her car and her tires.
Okay.
And I was getting that she has well, obviously because it's her husband, but she has like either a necklace or thing. Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah.
Who wants you to put your silly hat on?
Yeah.
There's something with the necklace that there needs to be fixed, like a clasp to a necklace that needs to be fixed as well.
No,
He wants her to wear it.
So Jeanette said yes, he was funny, and so it's George. Everybody, Jeanette's George is here. Thank you for calling in, or calling in from out there, George.
Wait, one more thing. Is there a special birthday in October? Because he seems like Halloween. So that's why I told me.
There's a little bit of a lag in time, so we'll get back to that when she answers. Okay, Jeanette Robles on Facebook. If there's a birthday in October, please validate for us on Facebook. There's a little bit of a lag. So okay, let's talk to Jeannie now. Maybe Jeannie's husband's hanging out with George.
Yeah, probably. He probably is. That's so funny. I lost my husband a year ago this month. I lost him on October 3rd. So, it's pretty hard.
That's what it is.
That's the October. It's not a birthday.
There's not a birthday. Okay, your George is definitely here. And you have anything, Jennifer?
Did you go visit? I feel like you've been talking to his remains, so I don't know if if you have a place that you go and you talk to him. I know you talk to him all the time, though, correct?
I have him at home. I have him cremated so I can keep him with me forever. Yeah.
So that's why he said his
Yeah,
remains. He's like,
and I
I
think
didn't feel that it was. I didn't feel that it was a casket or, you went to a headstone, but he says that you talk to him all the time. And you recently were cleaning,
all the time. Uh-huh.
and
I
he
do that
says that
sometimes.
you do that sometimes. That's so funny. There's something
Yeah,
about being
yeah,
allergic to dust. So I don't know if he
yeah.
was or if you are, which is kind of funny.
Oh,
But
that's
he loves
so funny. That is really funny. That's funny because I sneeze all the time around dust.
Yeah, see,
Well,
she
he
knows
says
you
you're
do that.
allergic to it.
You guys, let me ask you a question. I see shadows, and when I'm walking, I feel people behind me, and there's nobody behind me when I'm walking my dogs. And like when I'm cooking, I look in my microwave, and I see shadows. Or I'm sitting outside smoking a cigarette, and I feel like there's somebody like walking past me, but there's nobody there.
Oh,
Oh,
well,
she has shadow
Yeah.
people.
shadow
Yeah.
people.
And yeah, there's such thing as shadow people, and don't worry, they're harmless. They're just watching over you, and there's somebody trying to come through the microphone. He said he misses you. Did you guys hear that?
I
Or go
think he
back and
wants your
listen to
hat, Rebecca.
He thinks it's funny. I'm leaving it.
Yeah, George likes your hat. Okay.
He said he misses you. I heard it really loud. He misses you, of course. And then he told me to tell
Oh,
you that there's a cat going to come. I don't know. Do you have a cat? Oh, you have a
no, I got
dog,
two
but
dogs, for God's sake. Now I got to get a cat.
yeah. No, there might be one that comes kind of close to the yard and won't go where the dogs are. But
Okay.
don't worry. He said you're going to
No,
see the
you don't
cat.
have to get a cat. Don't. We're
No,
not
don't.
Oh, thank
expecting you to get a
Jesus.
cat.
You're
Okay.
already allergic to. You're
Oh,
already
We're tell
allergic to dust.
we're already telling you not to, so don't worry. We.
You're just going to see the cat, and it'll be an
th-
odd place, and you'll know what he's talking about. So it's fine.
that's amazing. Oh, I'm so grateful. Rebecca, I have to tell you something. You were at Kayers. It was a couple years ago when I was still working in the office. And I
Oh,
called
yeah.
in, and you told me that I was going to write a trilogy of books, 3 books. I just want you to know, girl, I've already published one, and I'm in the process of getting my second one together.
Oh,
So you were right on there.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
it was with
Yeah,
Grad,
it was.
Yeah, Susan, you know her.
Yeah,
Gina
yeah.
Grad.
Oh,
Yeah, I was on
Yeah.
Gina Grad.
Yeah.
Oh, you went on Gina Grad show? Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it was Gina Grad. Yeah. It was. So it wasn't Kayers. It was
KFI or KFI.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
she's still on there, or I think, I don't know. She's Adam Carolla. She used to be my co-host on this show, and I hooked her up with my.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she, but now she's like, making the big bucks with Adam Carolla. She's on the Adam Carolla show. So,
Oh.
and she does a lot of
I
other
gotta
stuff.
tell you, one more thing because your George is so loud. I'm just take this with a grain of salt. He says
not
when
her
the COVID
George.
is over.
It's Jeanette's
No.
George.
Do you have a George
Jeanette's
too?
on Facebook.
Okay,
No, I
well,
have a
Jeanette. Okay, no, I got to go to Jeanette again because George will not leave me alone. When it's safe to go when COVID's over, go to Vegas, baby. And that's what he said.
Jeanette?
He did.
Jeanette's George. You don't have a George, right?
Yeah.
This is Jeannie. Jeannie doesn't have a George.
Well, the other one wants
Jeannie
her.
doesn't have a George.
George
Yeah,
is
the
a
other one
Vegas
wants her.
lover. Hey, Jeanette.
Yeah.
It's going to be is George a Vegas lover? Who doesn't love Vegas? You have to go to Vegas with Rebecca because she's great at betting on sports, just so you know.
Yeah, I can.
But she didn't hear it here. I love going to Vegas with Rebecca. She's like, okay.
I win. Yay!
I know. I won like $300 once on a team, and I was very happy about that. Somebody on the last show said, "Why don't they bet on the lottery and give up their jobs?"
Well, because the thing is, you can have the numbers and not play. Okay, so I'm planning to win. I've got my lucky lottery numbers behind me, and I've got my lucky things all over it. So I plan to win. So and I'll be out there saying I won the lottery because it was taken. They'll say, "Give
How
back
about
the
you,
money."
Jennifer?
That's
Have you
not
ever
fair.
won money in Vegas, but with your intuition?
I have won money, and I absolutely love to bet. I love fantasy football, and I love I love suicide pools. I love everything. If I could use this gift just to do that, it'd be a bookie in Vegas. But it doesn't work like that.
That's the devil.
Rebecca, can I say one thing? Rebecca, you showed us earlier a gun. And I feel like does it have anything to do with the Civil War or somebody that had?
Yeah. It actually was used in the Civil War. Sherman, this is where Sherman came to get it.
All right. So just so you know, when we were talking about somebody else, I don't know what caller that was. The guy that was funny. The guy came through showing me a picture of the Civil War and putting that in my mind's eye of what we saw earlier.
I know. I probably look ridiculous. Yeah. I've got a hat on and I've got this.
Yeah, gun. One or the other. This might.
Well, I didn't figure out how to hold it.
Is there a way we can get a bigger screen, Caleb?
Yeah.
Is she?
Yeah.
Hold it like we have a wide screen. We can. Oh, he's working on it. So, anyways, hold it wide, like long way, this way. Yeah, there.
Yeah, I'm wrapped up in it though. Okay.
Now she's got the
wow.
So now she looks like she's living in the 20s.
So
or the 1900s.
It was used then for the Civil War.
Because it was used in this. It was actually used in the Civil War. It's not mine. It doesn't. I was given to it by a gentleman that asked me to get this history on it, the story off of it, and then he passed away. And so I have this still, and it was. You could tell where the notches are on it, where it looks like there was, if he killed anybody. It's kind of, it's kind of scary. But it was actually used in 1864, I think, or 1863, or something like that. Yeah. And then it's just right here.
That's cool. Yeah. That's really cool. Show us your other fancy little item. Okay. Oh God.
I know. This was given to me also by. Well,
we're doing a little history of.
Here's a key.
Is there a ghost attached to it?
Yes, actually there is. I have a cabinet in my room that's 110 years old or something. It loves to, as Sherman can attest to, it loves to make noise, knock from the inside. So I just got used to it. I saw a man standing there one day. Here's an actual key. This isn't a fake key. It's the real key to the cabinet.
That looks like a key to me.
Yeah, and in that cabinet, I have the rifle because it's big. A celebrity used to own it, gave it to this guy, and then he was broke, and he needed money desperately, so he sold it to me. And now I have it, and it's so big that I don't know if I'll ever be able to get it out of this room. And I'm not afraid by it. At first, I was like, what the heck? But now I'm so used to it. Now we got another one. This was given to me.
This is when it gets good, everybody. Are you ready?
I know.
Somebody says it's all Granny from Beverly Hillbillies. Your Granny from Beverly Hillbillies. All right. Now I want to hear the comments now.
Okay, this was given to me by the wife of a man named John. He was a musician. I had known about him before he got into a coma. Somehow I had a vision of it. I'm waiting for somebody to call me about a man in Northridge Hospital named John. Anyway, it happened. He was a musician. You've got to see this someday, Susan. I wrote 5 songs with another gal while he was in this coma. And he had a lot of antiques, and his wife wanted to gift this to me for helping her.
Oh, that's sweet. That's cool.
I ended up with this. Yeah, and it's really old.
Now you're a Bavarian gypsy. Like, what the hell?
Yeah,
so awesome.
Oh my God! Halloween's coming, everybody. This is what Rebecca does around the Halloween time. If you ever want to, if you know her well enough, she's big on dressing up and
comedy,
reliving the past.
Yeah, we did Caroline's Comedy Club last Halloween. Susan and Drew were there, and
that
Drew
was
helped. I want to show you one more item that's really fun.
Okay, hurry! I want to take a call. We have a whole bunch of callers here.
Yeah, hurry! A haunted perfume bottle back there. Can you get to me? Because you guys will like this.
Oh my God! It's haunted. So what does that mean? A genie comes out in the middle of the night and wakes you up and tells you to turn the lights on?
I feel like it's connected to old Hollywood, and it's really pretty.
That's gorgeous.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and
That's pretty.
there's a lady
Oh, it's like I
that
Dream
likes
of
it.
Jeannie.
Yeah, Gloria Swanson loves this one, and this brings in, the 1920s ghost. So
Oh,
I've got,
really?
yeah, no wonder my room is haunted.
Into
I
your
wonder why.
boudoir? Into your boudoir, Rebecca? We have a woman on the line that says that she she has ghosts around the time past year. She felt like something was patting her head at night. Feels like something has sat down next to her in her bed. So maybe she has a bunch of haunted shit in her bedroom too, and she needs to hear a little bit more. But first, we're going to take a quick break.
With so much focus on keeping ourselves and our loved ones safe and healthy, it's easy to forget that most of us are going to experience things like allergies, colds, possibly even the flu. So, reminding you, proper hydration is crucial for all of these things. Remember, even slight dehydration can make you feel like you're getting sick, and none of us need that anxiety right now, that's for sure. That's where Hydrolyte comes in. Longtime fans will remember my obsession with Hydrolyte, which is simply the best oral rehydration product I've tried. I'm even more excited to introduce their brand new single-serve powder sticks. Simply pour one powder stick into a glass of water. They recommend 7 ounces. The powder dissolves almost instantly, creating the perfect balance of sodium, glucose, and water. Delivers up to 4 times the electrolytes of your typical sports drink. The other great news about Hydrolyte's new powder sticks, they're 100% all natural, no artificial flavors, colors, or sweeteners. They're available in flavors like orange and lemonade, and they taste great. Hydration is crucial, and Hydrolyte is fastest and easiest way to stay ahead of it. Get your supply of Hydrolyte powder sticks now at hydrolyte.com/DRDREW. Again, that's HYDRALYTE.com/DRDREW, and then use that code Dr. Drew 25 at checkout.
Hey, we are back. I want to circle back to Jeanette. George, she did tell us that yes, they went to Atlantic City. So
To the
George.
gambling, yeah.
So it's time to go to Vegas, Jeanette. Also, you were talking about these different ghosts in your bedroom because you have all these random things in there. Somebody on the line said that what is it when you feel somebody's patting you on the head at night or that sits down next to you on the bed? What is that?
Oh, they do that all the time. The veil is so thin. I don't even think there is a veil really anymore. Like at nighttime, when I put my hand up, I can't see it.
Oh, really?
I can't see the top. It is so thick with energy, I can't even see it. And so when you get it, when you feel that on your head, that's spirit coming down and playing with it and going back up. I mean, when I'm reading
Oh, so you're
somebody,
hitting the veil.
Yeah. And between the hours of 11 and 4, there's so much activity.
In the
11
afternoon?
and 4 a.m. At
Oh,
a.m.
a.m.
So much activity.
So,
I don't know.
Anne, did you hear that?
I did. That's interesting.
That
long
is Jen's intuition on it, and that's what she experiences.
Well, as long as the ghost isn't inappropriate, I just watched a ghost show with a couple of guys that were investigating. Oh my God, the ghost was so, I don't even want to say, but it was really nasty. Okay. And this poor girl was being attacked since she was 16. So it was many, many years. And then she started to get attached to this thing.
Oh.
And so I'd say if it's not appropriate, like
No,
it's not your husband from the other side trying to have hanky-panky. Okay, but no, you got to tell it to get lost.
If it's your husband wants hanky-panky.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that before. Believe me, I've heard
Ghost
it all.
sex. Whoop, whoop. I mean, I want a ghost to come visit me. How fun. It's like having
Multi-dimensional. Yeah.
a boyfriend and nobody cares. Like,
Well, that's what she said. She actually said, I have this guy on the other side. It's multidimensional. And then they did an investigation on it. They found that it was right because then the one guy got punched in the derriere. But he was like, don't be touching me there. So I just say if it's appropriate, good. If it's not and you don't like it, then tell it to go away.
yeah.
Forcefully.
Yeah.
You're in charge.
So
always.
Rebecca, I know you had Elvis Presley trying to get in your bedroom before, and that made you
Oh,
uncomfortable.
well, you know what?
Although a lot of
It's
people wouldn't mind.
Well, the thing with Elvis is, I went to Graceland in the 1980s, and my friend Demon Don Duraz and I both looked up to a window, and we saw him at the same time, and we said, "Oh my God, I thought Elvis was dead," and so from that time on, he's followed me around, and the very sad thing happened with his grandson, and I was really thinking, I need to call somebody there. Call. Something's bugging me to call. Okay, and not the other side, like to call the family. And I said, no, I don't want to be like weird and pushy, and I wish I had, because then that's when Ben, the grandson Ben, had an incident. Sometimes, Jen, I don't know if this happens to you, where you have a feeling something really bad's going to happen, and yet
Oh,
my own thing, afraid of not being like, I don't want to be pushy or inappropriate. And then I kick myself and said, I should have called. Why didn't I call?
well,
And
I
I
get
feel like
that.
Elvis was bugging me. He was like, he's been on me for years. And he has proved that he's been with me too, because he said things about people that maybe I didn't know knew him, like the chauffeur or the bodyguard, or, you know, a girlfriend that I didn't know was his. And I've had many, many interactions with Elvis.
I don't doubt that whatsoever. I usually call it the word, like if you see something, like, or if you get three signs about a particular person, I recently had this, and you just have to pay attention to it and figure out what you need to do or do it. But like
Right.
it's to the point now, if I get information, like I got information and about something, and I thought, oh my gosh, I thought for sure something was going to happen to my mom. And I was given a date. I was freaking out. I'm like, oh my gosh, well, if she dies, then she'll go see my dad. And if she stays here, she'll have sex with her husband because she's remarried. Anyway, kind of funny. So it was like, but unfortunately, something did happen that day. And it was to another family member.
Oh.
Because I thought my dad, I felt that whole side of the family so close. I'm like, oh my gosh, my mom's going to die because she went to the hospital that day. So that was my go-to, but it was another family member for them being there. And so also too, I've had it several times where I thought something was going to happen to someone, and it was a family member that it happened to.
Can't you just like send out an email to the whole family and say, you know, on this day, let's all stay in touch and make sure we're okay?
You know, that's a good idea.
I don't know.
You know what happened to me the last couple of days? And I had no connection to Eddie Van Halen whatsoever. I mean, everybody knows Eddie Van Halen, Cutie Pie. The only thing is that once Wolfgang, his little boy, and my son Vincent ended up in Malibu at the same little park, but that was long, long time ago. But the other day, and I don't think I've had any connection to anybody in his family, but I could be wrong, because maybe there was slightly something a long, long time ago with somebody coming for a reading. So I have written the script. I don't even know if you know that. And it involves music. And I was thinking, okay, I always wanted to like have John Travolta in the movie because it has Italian theme. And then I hear Eddie Van Halen say, no, I want to be in it too. And I'm like, what? And then I said, did you play jazz? Do you like jazz? Because the movie has a jazz theme to it too. And so I'm curious now if Eddie Van Halen did study jazz or play jazz at all. Do you guys
I
know
don't know.
that?
He
He
did?
did?
He did study classical, and he also wrote, you know, he played guitar for some of Michael Jackson's famous songs,
Sure.
Right.
like Beat It, as well as,
Mhm.
you know, what's the scary one, Thriller.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's just done so many different variations of different types of music.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
So,
multifaceted. Not
so
just
I'm
a
just
rock
gonna,
god.
I'm going to acknowledge him.
Okay.
And I don't
Let's
know.
bring him
is
in.
that the-
Hey, Eddie, let's do it. So,
Hey, Eddie.
and God bless you, Eddie. Too soon. So Taylor Nation is our call-in studio screener. She screens all the calls every week for us on the show, and she's also married to our fabulous producer Caleb Nation, who happens to be here right now. Anyways, she said she just texted me and she goes, "I swear to God, I just saw a spirit in my house right now, and I fully believe it. It thinks it's being invited for watching your show every week. So every week that she does this, she feels like somebody's in the room."
Hey,
It
we're
happened.
famous on the other side.
Caleb, come on the line. You need to talk to her. Like, tell her.
I'm shocked that it didn't have anything to do with us having a baby or if we're going to move to Nashville, or that's her usual question.
Yeah. No, she's got a spirit in the house. Who is it, Rebecca?
I do think she's correct. I think it's a fan. And I think that they're enjoying being connected to the show. She's right. I don't think it's any particular family member. But Jen, I'm getting a lot about your dad. So your dad is coming in here strong, okay? And Caleb, you guys are definitely maybe have the really big chance in the middle of 2021. I hate to tell you this, Susan, that you could definitely go to Nashville. Or close to
I actually got the same thing for 2021 for him, for Nashville. That's interesting.
Oh, really? Is Caleb going to leave me?
Maybe you guys come with us.
Yeah, I just found out I can refinance my house and maybe rent it and make money, and then I can get an apartment in Nashville.
I love Nashville. I'm coming.
The rates are good. I mean, at least something good could happen. Drew wants to get the hell out of California, but I do want to go to Nashville and hang out at some point again. It's a fun city. Definitely. So,
great haunted city.
Yeah, you got to come, Rebecca. It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good time. Jen, let's do a road trip. Let's have or we could have like a Vegas road trip with all our psychics and get a group of people and bet on sports.
I would love that.
But thank you so much, Anne. I hope that was helpful. I think is she gone? Okay, bye. I forgot about Anne. She was on the hold. So one more call. What do you say?
Sure, this is fun.
Can you guys handle another call? I know that Jen has a hard out at 7, so I want to make sure we don't make her late. And we want to plug her show. Unfortunately, the banner didn't make it to Caleb on time, but I want to talk about your new podcast that just dropped.
Okay, it's called The Ascension, and it's for women that come from diverse backgrounds, and we talk about things that are deep, but yet we make it good. Like we had, our main word for our first podcast that just dropped on Sunday was called integrity. It's about integrity, how we have, it's a great podcast. We have tons of as you know, it takes a lot of effort to put out a good podcast and all the different variations of it. But really excited. If you go to ascensionmedia.love, you'll find it.
ACCESHO. Wait, Ascension.
Ascension Media. ASCEN.
Oh.
SION. Ascension.
Media. .love.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I just put it on the restream, so everybody.
Thank you.
Okay, somebody on Rich, we have bad news. Rich on YouTube said his dad killed himself 2 weeks in front of him. How am I supposed to cope? That's pretty intense. I'm really sorry for you.
Rich, was your father not sleeping? Did he have sleep deprivation? 'Cause that's a very big cause of suicide that I've noticed.
Mm-hmm.
What's he saying?
He just wants to know how he's supposed to cope. Like, I mean, obviously it's a grief situation. Like, how would you guide somebody who's just had a horrible trauma like that? Short of making sure that you get some psychological help and or something to help you along medically. That's always a good reason. But any suggestions to deal with a death?
Yeah,
I know you guys have dealt with it so many times with people, so that's
suicide is a different layer of like a post-traumatic syndrome. First of all, there's nothing you could have done to stop him. You have to know you can't go would have, could have, should have, would have, could have, should have. At this point, he does look like he's young again and healthy. He did make it to the other side. He's not stuck, so please forgive him. Talk to him often, and believe in have the faith that there is more than just this realm. And I have physical, full-on proof of that. So he was very tired, and I don't know. He was a handsome guy when he was young. He seems younger to me now. He looks young, real handsome. And I think the way you cope with this is to know that he's alive and well on the other side, not suffering, and that don't blame yourself. When people commit
I also,
suicide, and even if you know, they'll get around it and do it.
yeah, I
And
also was getting,
yeah, go ahead, Jennifer.
okay, said I was also getting that there was something about his blood, like he wasn't getting enough oxygen. He wasn't already, so that was also deprivation. Like there was nothing that, he has to know that he didn't cause it. He has to know that this was his dad's life path. That's his dad's, it wasn't his, and that he needs to grieve. When he grieves, he needs to reach out to people and not to grieve alone. There's support groups, there's, therapists, doctors that really help you, that really can help you get through it. That's
And this is an epidemic right now during the COVID-19 of suicides. So, Susan, maybe Drew or you could help and reach out and tell people how to deal with depression during COVID-19 or where there is to call, like Jennifer said, because it's really bad right now.
Yeah, reach out for
Yeah.
help. Definitely good suggestion. Talking about somebody who's stuck. Somebody said that they want to know how you know if a person is stuck.
Well,
Hi, Shelley.
because they're very, very distraught.
Sorry.
Hi, Shelley. You're the last question. Shelley's question.
Okay.
He's curious to know if people have crossed over. How do you know if a person is stuck? Her brother passed,
Well,
and mom is worried about it.
2 weeks ago. So I've had a few. He died in a terrible car accident 2 weeks ago today, actually, and we haven't even had his funeral yet. And I've had a few things where I feel kind of at peace that he's okay, and I've had a few times I felt he was letting me know that. And when I tell my mom, she's sad and scared that he's stuck, and I want to try to let her know that he's not. Like, how do you tell? Like, she thinks he's showing me signs because he's stuck. I don't feel that way.
No, he's not stuck. He's not stuck at all. In fact, when your loved ones come to you and show you signs, they're coming from where they're supposed to be. They're not stuck. They're not in limbo. That's not the case. I don't believe it was his fault either.
No, we don't know for sure yet, but I think he may have fallen asleep at the wheel and he was going very fast.
He just keeps saying that fault. So whether he wasn't obviously he wasn't conscious of it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I heard it too, that he fell asleep at the wheel, yes, and then he lost control. You know how you can wake up suddenly and then the car flips. I think the car might have flipped. But does he know a Chris by any chance?
A lot.
Yeah, I could feel it. I'm falling asleep, then I jerk it, and then I flip the car. Chris. I keep hearing Chris. Do you know who that is around him? No, but keep a Chris in mind because I want to.
Wait, let him tell.
Find out if.
Do you have a Chris, Shelley, that you know of in here or in the afterlife?
He had a million friends. So it could be anybody that I can't think of at the top of my head. Not a relative at the moment I can think of, but there probably was somebody. But that is what happened.
That he didn't have
more times than the police.
Right.
Well, listen.
And he told me that he's just happy. Oh,
hold on one second.
Hold on a second, Shelley. I'm going to let Jennifer go, and I want to thank her one more time. Thank you for joining us. We're gonna close, and we don't want to just cut you off. So, thanks again for coming in, and you can find her at jenniferschaefer.com. And have a beautiful evening.
Thank you. It was so wonderful seeing the both of you. Thanks for having me.
Jennifer, we got to get together and do something fun.
Absolutely.
Great job.
All right. Bye, hun.
Bye.
It's just us.
Okay, I just want to tell that girl, your brother's just glad that he had nobody else in the car with him, that he wasn't responsible for their demise, and that he, not to worry, he's eating well in heaven. Tell mom not to worry, okay? They even
What's
have
eating?
the most delicious. He talked about having the most delicious, something healthy. Yeah, like cherry tomatoes. It's not, but they have lots of food. Please tell your mom. They give you clothes. Okay. He has food. He's just so happy he didn't hit another car or kill anybody else.
Oh,
And he's not
that's
stuck
exactly
at all.
true.
He's
He had
sitting,
nobody with him.
no, and he's in a t-shirt and a
Wow.
pair of, I don't know, just casual jeans, real casual, and that he's in a beautiful place and he's eating. He looks good. He's not
He's eating.
stuck, but talk to him often. He just wanted to make sure that you don't feel guilty about going through his belongings and doing what you need to do with them, okay? Because are you helping with that?
Oh my God, there's 2 bags of things in my garage right now that I haven't been able to open. Someone gave me.
Right. So take
So
your
yeah, we
time.
will
You
be
don't have
doing
to
that.
go through- Yeah, you don't have to do it right away. I tell you, some people get rid
Nope.
of everything right away. Don't have to. I know more than anything about grief. I had a terrible situation myself. And so you know what? You just take your time. He says it's okay that you go through the things. He believes you'll do what you need to do with them and want to do with them. And he keeps bringing up like water and boats. Are you liking to go by the boats or the water at all?
We live in Connecticut, kind of near. My parents are in. Oh my God, I can't believe you just said that. My parents live in Mystic, Connecticut, and the plot we picked to bury them in is right along the water
Oh,
where
beautiful.
the boats go
Yeah.
to the Mystic. I don't know if you know anything about Connecticut, Mystic, Connecticut.
Yeah, I know Mystic. Yeah, but yes, absolutely. He's happy about that. He thinks it's a beautiful, beautiful place to sit when it's warm, of course. And yes, please, at all means, do it. He loves it. Maybe you'll put a bench there for him or plant a tree or something.
Oh.
Oh my God, we have a bench and it's going to be under a tree.
Oh, that's it. He knows. Please tell your parents.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, I'll call my mother right now.
Yeah,
Yes, please call her.
Share this recording with her so you can listen back. You can go. I don't know where you found us, but Periscope's a good
Facebook.
way to find it. You can start where Rebecca started your reading, and I'm really glad that I pulled you up at this point. But don't worry, he's not in limbo. He loves you, and he loves where he is in his afterlife. He's eating well, and I don't know, maybe he likes cherry tomatoes, and he's in. We believe that there is a place after.
Absolutely, 100%.
Oh, I have 100%.
So, and he will be with you.
One more thing. Do you know a Dorothy? He keeps saying that. Tell Mom I don't know, something about Dorothy or Dottie. Dot.
The only Dorothy wouldn't be a relative, but my grandma, I feel he's with my grandmother. My great-grandmother in our family movie was The Wizard of Oz. I know this sounds weird, but I have these Wizard of Oz things in my hallway, like 2 feet from me right now. I don't know if that could be it.
Dorothy, maybe that's it. Yeah, so, well, anyway, that's a clue, something about Dorothy. Okay, and, but he's not alone. No, he's got like 4 or 5 people with him, but I don't have enough time to name them all. He's in a good place. Talk to him, put the prayers out.
And if you ever want to do something nice for your mom, maybe with time once she's, have her, get Rebecca on the line and she can connect, in a private reading and feel some solace and love, in her heart.
Yes.
It does help. It does help. And, we can't do it all.
Yeah.
We're here to serve.
There's a Mary, too. He's just shouting out me to say Mary.
Now he's like, wait, Mary.
Mary. Your mom will know. She may know who these people are. Maybe they were friends of your grandfather. Yeah.
Mary, Dorothy.
My mom will know.
Yeah, and God bless you. Feel better. We hope that, you have a nice week, and don't worry too much. I know it's hard. Grief is a terrible thing. So, but stay positive. He is still with you in spirit.
I will.
It's not,
oh my gosh, thank you so much.
It's not the best, but it makes you feel better a little bit, I hope.
I'm glad you got through. Thank you for being persistent.
Take care, Shelley.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Okay, bye.
You're welcome.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Wow, that was intense, and, we had to have tears at the end. It wouldn't be my show if somebody didn't cry. So thank you, Rebecca, for connecting her with that important person. I know there's still people on the line. I know you're not really feeling great today, so I'm not going to make you keep going. But
Oh, I'm
thanks.
okay. Look at look at my microphone. How teeny it is.
It's cute. What, you
Yeah,
want to
isn't
do
it cute?
you want to take
Yeah, I'll
another
do some
one?
more.
You want to take
Sure.
another?
You know what? I took the Hydrolyte because I got dehydrated. So,
That's my
well,
girl.
true. I
Promotion,
took Hydrolyte.
promotion. Well, we love Hydrolyte too, and not just because they give us some money, not a
No, I
lot,
might
but
not
we
have been
love
able to
them
do
so
the
much we
show.
give them a good deal. But they do keep this boat afloat at Calling Out with Susan Pinsky, even though, you know, we've had them for years as our sponsor, but everybody uses it. It's amazing stuff. So also, if you go to hydrolyte.com/Dr. Drew and use the code Dr. Drew 25, you get 25% off. So make sure you pick it up. And thank you, Rebecca, for pushing my sponsors. If the Hydrolyte kept you alive tonight, that's what I needed.
No, that's why I'm here because
The
I said,
show
oh my God,
must
I should
go
drink.
on, girl.
Yes. Yes. So I drank Hydrolyte and got back my oomph, and here I am, and I'm ready to go. Rock and roll some more if you want to.
So Cecilia on YouTube said, wow, that was a great reading. I can totally agree with that. Rich Meyer says he can't call. He said something earlier. It's busy? It shouldn't be busy. Is it?
I can resume it. Yeah.
Oh, we're not resumed. I think because we're coming to the end, we weren't taking any more. What's that?
Can I say happy anniversary to my friend Melody and John? They're listening right now. Happy almost 40 years together, and they're on a road trip. And okay, Mel, hi. Hi, you guys. Have fun. Stay safe. Okay, good.
I had a couple of people kind of mad. They said I'm gonna unsubscribe because it's on Dr. Drew's platform. But you know, here's my deal. If you don't want to watch me, just don't watch it. Watch his shit. I don't care, but don't be a dick. Jeez.
Yes, everybody is intuitive.
We're working hard over here. We're trying to give people love and support. And the last thing we need is, if you're gonna go, just go. I don't care. You know, seriously, I don't give a shit. I've been doing this for a long time, and trust me, it's no skin off my nose. There was somebody. Where'd he go?
Rebecca, is that your real microphone?
Yes.
Wow.
It really is.
I thought that was just a necklace. Wow.
No, it's really my microphone.
Wow.
And it works, you guys. Yes, it's real.
It totally works.
It's kind of cute.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have Christo on the phone. Is this the Chris? Chris says, I'm on hold. Please pick up. Please, 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 please. So, Christo, is it Christo?
This is Chris on the line.
Okay, Chris. I don't know why it says Christo, but Chris is on the line and he has a question.
Okay, go ahead, Chris.
So
maybe
wait, hold on. She's tapping in. Hold on.
Maybe Danny was tapping into Chris because I remember I asked his sister, Shelley, if he knew a Chris. So I think we got Danny on the other side helping you, Chris. So go ahead. We're getting a multi-dimensional reading here.
That is awesome. So I lost my mom about 12 years ago, and then I was about 3 months after my first son was born, and then my father passed away a year and a half ago. I was a real mama's boy, like very close to my parents, and then after they passed away, I started to kind of feel like a real distance because I didn't feel like a lot of connection with them. I didn't feel like I had them around me a lot. I've had a couple of weird things happen. Like my mom's birthday is 4/25/61, and my youngest son was born 4 weeks early on 4/25/16. So I have little things like that, but I just wonder, are they around me? And, why am I not feeling it?
So your kids were born on the same day. One was in 16 and one was in 61. Is that what you said?
So my mom was
4/25.
It was 4/25/61, and my son was 4/25/16.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Oh,
that's so cool. Okay, that makes sense. Your mom, not your two kids.
Yeah, your mom. So you're what I call an adult orphan, which is very hard at no matter what age you are. My mom's still alive. My father's not, and Susan has both her mom and on the other side now. But can you hold on a second? Sherman, I can't see my battery. As soon as your Mom came in. My battery's starting to die here. Yeah, Mom's got a lot
Plug
of
it in,
energy.
Rebecca. The show's over. We'll have to
Yeah,
follow
hurry.
up next week.
Okay.
Don't do that to me.
Yeah, I know. Tune in next week, people. We'll see what Chris's
Okay, let
mom
me get his
has to
phone
say.
number just in case we lose you.
Here we are. Okay. Yeah, your mom was getting that battery to go kaput. Okay. She says that she very much talks to you all the time. I'm trying to give you details, not just I love you, because you know she loves you. Okay. And are you not the only child? There's another sibling,
I have a half sister.
Chris? Right. Okay. She said sister, but then I thought I might be a little wrong about that. But it's a half sister.
What, that doesn't count?
Right.
Yeah, she doesn't feel like he has close siblings, but he does have good friends, your mom said, and his boys are amazing. One of your boy will be more athletic than the other. Both will probably maybe play different sports, but one is kind of the creative type. Have you noticed that about one of your boys?
Oh my God.
Music.
Yes.
Right. Because she says
It's
you know what,
art.
Art makes sense, because she said, and she told me to tell you he's very talented, and please support both their talents. They're different from each other, though they're brothers. They're kind of very different personalities, but she's with them. She says they're beautiful. She said, tell your wife and you that you made beautiful babies. And did you just recently want to redo part of your house, maybe the back of the house or something? She says that your house, something about work being done, it looks really great. You know what she's talking about?
Yeah, I literally just we moved into a new house and I completely remodeled the entire place.
Yeah, she says it's gorgeous. And she loves to sit in the kitchen, because the kitchen has, is your wife there with you?
Yeah.
Hello? Yes, she told me to give you both a big hug and a kiss, so hug, hug, hug. And she said she goes in the kitchen and she's seen you guys just really enjoying it, and everybody's cooking these days. But I think your mom is a good cook, or she gives me a couple of recipes to give you. Have you been able to find her recipes for, it could be even potato salad. It doesn't have any big fancy dish.
It's funny. She used to make, the best thing she ever made was a tomato sauce. And since she passed away, it's killed me that I always try and recreate it, but I never had the actual recipe.
Oh, sorry, my dog's right. You know what the thing is? Let me tell you something. Remember how the other guy came in, Danny, and then he mentioned tomatoes or cherry tomatoes? I think your mom and Danny are on the other side, because he doesn't have his mother. And your mother doesn't have her son, so they seem to have connected to each other. And I bet you anything it goes to the tomatoes for the tomato sauce. If you're going to use them, you've got to use the right ones. So I'm telling you, that's a clue, okay? So she's trying to help you cook. And I don't know.
Awesome.
She says, you know what? But I'm telling you, this is kind of more like barbecue and potato salad. Is that you? That you like to do that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. She says, look, your house is perfect for barbecue and potato salad and, just having good times. But if you want to make the sauce, she'll actually help you. And she also told me that you, not her, could make a mean meatloaf. So work on your meatloaf. It's true.
How are your meatloaf skills?
All right, I will.
They're easy. You just
Yeah.
How are they? You good? You good at the meatloaf there, Chris?
Your wife?
I've loved to cook my whole life. So my wife makes a much better meatloaf than me. However, I can hold my own in the kitchen.
Yeah, your mom seems to know that, and she loves your kitchen, you guys. So you did an awesome job. It has good energy in there. She just wants to make sure that you've hooked up the fire and smoke alarms and all those things for carbon monoxide. So please do that if you haven't. But I think you have. But she's just kind of protective, and get yourself a fire extinguisher. It doesn't mean you're going to have a fire, because you did everything, even the electrical. But please heed the warning. Do you have a fire extinguisher?
I do not have a fire
Get
extinguisher.
Get one.
I know.
And make
I
sure all
had
your
one.
alarms.
I don't know where it is now. That's one of those
Yeah.
things you just kind of let go sometimes.
Yeah, and make sure all the alarms are working, just so she loves you. She said, look, it's a good thing to have. Do you have an upstairs too? Is that why she's showing me kind of an upper level?
No, we did, but in the new house, we do not have an upper level.
So your last house was a 2-story. Well, maybe she loves this one much better. And I don't know where I picture. And that she just with my teeny little microphone that works. And but I really like your mom. She's really sweet. Your dad, he's not talking as much as your mom. He's letting your mom have the spotlight.
She's a chatty one, huh?
But he loves you guys so much. They're together. He thinks your house is awesome. Awesome, just awesome. And just he's going to try to send you some dragonflies. They used to say hummingbirds, but the new thing lately is dragonflies. Have you seen any?
Oh my God! So I have got to tell you, everywhere. I mean, I could go outside and videotape, and they're everywhere.
Really?
Yeah, he's sending you a whole tribe of them. Yes.
What color are they?
And they're every color. And I have
Wow.
chickens, and like that's how we know the dragonflies are out there, is because the chickens are running back and forth trying to jump up into the air to catch the dragonflies. And I mean, they have been our yard has been inundated.
I want to
with
see a video of that.
dragonflies
That sounds
recently.
cool.
Yeah,
Not
send
seeing a
it
dead
in to
dragon.
Susan.
Wow.
The chickens jump in the air and try to get the dragonflies, like dogs.
That's a great YouTube or something, right? Yeah, or TikTok. Yeah, I think you should do that.
Oh my God.
And then I just heard a dog that's not mine. And a dog at the house too. Your dad has a dog. It's not your dog. So did your pop like dogs by any chance? It's a bigger dog, not a smaller dog.
Yes, I had before my father passed away. Like he would come here to visit. Cause they lived in Connecticut. I'm from Connecticut originally. I'm in Georgia now, and I have a big rescue dog that he just loved.
Oh, maybe that's it, because it's a big dog, and I heard a big dog barking, and I have chihuahuas, okay, so that wasn't in my house. And so he must look after that dog, because he loves that dog.
Oh, that's so cute.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm glad you got to talk to the dog too.
Yeah.
But listen.
He said his paw. Look at his paw. He might have a little something in there, a sticker or something. So check out the dog's paw. Make sure he's okay.
Okay, we're going to take one more call, but thank you, Chris. I really appreciate you calling in.
Thank you so much.
So nice. So nice.
Oh, thank Danny too on the other side. Danny helped.
Hey, Danny. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Have a wonderful week.
All right.
You too.
Cute. He was cute. Okay, I want to just really quickly mention the nice comments on Restream. This is cool, Susan. Glad you're doing this. Love you, and Drew. Keep them high and tight. Thank you, Julia. That's so cute. Animals are so entertaining. I see dragonflies all the time. Kimberly S. Great show, ladies. Carolyn. So pretty nice things. Thanks you guys. I appreciate it. It's kind of fun to watch Rebecca work. She's got some skill. And the chickens catching the dragonflies, that is something I've never seen. So that's interesting.
No.
I want to get a video emailed to me at contact@drdrew.com. Also, we're going to go back to somebody that we talked to earlier about, oh shoot, where'd it go? It keeps popping in and out, but I can't. Oh my God, Rich was here, and then it disappeared. He was the one who said his father shot himself in front of him.
Right.
And he was on the line, and I was going to go to him, and then it keeps going away. So I don't know if he just changes his mind and goes back and forth and doesn't want to, he's afraid, whatever, or just took too long. But anyways, our love and prayers go out to you, Rich Meyer, and I'm sorry for your loss. I don't want you to think that we didn't see you. I was aiming to get to you before we hung up, just because, I think that suicide is a terrible thing, and I if you do know anybody who is depressed and needs help, there definitely call a suicide help hotline and get them the help that they need, because that's serious stuff. And I have to admit, I had a family member kill himself, and in my my uncle's house, while they were in the house too. It was not a good thing, but it's no joke. But Rich, I'm sorry, I couldn't get to you fast enough, but I almost had you. God bless you. And God bless you too, Rich, and everybody else who's on the line. And I appreciate all the positive. Flora Mae Bunny said her whole TikTok is chickens, so I'll have to look that up. Send me the link, Flora Mae. Let me see that. I have experienced TikTok, and I like the cats. Not sure I want to look at babies at this point, and the dogs are okay, but the cats are hysterical, and I don't know. I think chickens might be fun too. So, what's your favorite TikTok? I don't know if he's here anymore. I think we lost him.
Well, if he hears me, you can call me at RebeccaFearing.com. My phone number is on there, and I won't charge you. Okay? I'll comp.
Oh,
okay,
that's
so if you hear this, look for me.
All right. Rich Meyer, if you hear us, I don't know if he's here. I don't see him. He's not commenting. I mean, it's been a long show, and he's not. I tried. My Siri just turned on. It said, "Hey, what can I help you with?" There's a spirit in my Siri. I didn't do it. Did it sound like I said, "Hey, Siri"? Yeah.
No, you didn't.
No, I said, "This is a serious situation," and my Siri popped up. Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, he's not on here. So, Rebecca, anything else that's coming up for you that we should know about, that people where they can find you, or are we all just sort of doing readings and staying close to home?
You can, if you look at me or find me on my RebeccaFearing.com, but I'll tell you the numbers: 818-853-1123. We try to get back to everybody. I've gotten a lot of calls because I went on Netflix on the Beverly Hills Housewives all over the world. So, but we will get to you, Sherman and I. We will eventually, whether it takes a day or it takes a week, we'll get to you. Rich, if you're hearing this, come. It'll be a comp. Say who you are. And but thank you guys for listening.
Free reading for Rich. Wow, look at that. I don't know where he went. And he was on, he was off. He's on, he's off. He probably just said, fuck it, I'm going to go have a beer. I hate this reading stuff.
And everybody has intuition. Please listen to it. It can help you. It can calm you. It can save your life. It can save the life of somebody you know if you feel something that's going to happen. And don't be afraid to talk. We're all in tough times right now, and a lot of indifference and indecision, and people are scared. It'll pass. It'll be normal again. It might take really till a little longer, with the next 12 months, but it'll happen. And I just want to tell you guys, I appreciate you, and thank you everybody out there that has called me and supported me all these years. I didn't want to do this job. I was born like that. I accepted the job, and I happen to be good at it. So thank you, Susan.
Shelley just said, Shelley was the one who connected with her brother who was buried by the water in Connecticut.
Danny, yeah.
And
Danny,
she says, I have no words for the peace I feel after my phone call. That's the goal. The goal is to make you feel connected and know that you're not alone, and that they feel your love. And we all have love for our, the universe, everybody in the universe. That I miss my parents, I miss my dad, and I just feel like I can communicate with them anytime, and they do show me signs. So, and I'm sorry we frustrated Rich, but if anybody knows him or can contact him, tell him that call Rebecca, she'll comp the show, the reading. So, and everybody, thanks for watching. I know this is kind of weird stuff. It's not, some people don't like it, and it is on Drew's platform, but I appreciate it if you share, if you care, and we'll be back soon. I think the next show is going to be on Monday, and I'm bringing in Colby, the Rebel Colby again, and then we'll have Rebecca back after I get back from New York, or maybe we can zoom in. Caleb can zoom us in from 2 areas. We're going to have to work on that. So I'm trying to stay regular with this and not, but I think we can both come in via Zoom and talk to everybody and get everybody a little message from a loved one.
Well, I want to say, you know what? There's a couple people out there. They're going to see a shooting star, and don't look for it. It'll find you. That's a sign for your loved ones. And all you dragonfly lovers, yes, and don't be surprised.
That was crazy. That guy had a ton of them. I mean, come
Yeah,
on.
there's something a new thing now. It used to be hummingbirds, but it seems to be dragonflies now. So I don't know exactly why, but I want to see the chickens and the dragonflies too.
I know. I hope he sends us a video. That sounded really fun. But anyways, thank you, Caleb Nation, for sitting here for 12 hours
Thanks,
today and
Caleb.
working so hard. And I will talk to you soon. Rebecca, thank you for rallying in the 11th hour, and I appreciate it. Find all the shows that I help produce at drdrew.com. We'll be doing a Dose of Dr. Drew tomorrow at 2 p.m. And we'll be hanging on. We're going to be traveling for a couple of weeks, so Caleb and I have to figure out how to make the Zoom work on my computer. So, but until then, until I see you again, stay safe, wear a mask, and, you know, pray to your loved ones. They're thinking of you. So,
Absolutely.
God
And
bless
thank you,
you.
Hydrolite. Hydrolite. I wouldn't be here tonight unless it was for you. And
Everybody
I'm
go
not
pick
kidding.
up some Hydrolite. We need them
really
to
good.
stay alive. They're
Yeah.
Australian, and they need your support. But it is good stuff.
Okay.
It's amazing.
All right. All right. Thank you.